America. It's Erickson. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon before you get home on October, 22nd, according to my computer. I can't keep up with the days these days. It's been a wild week. Up first, North Carolina Republicans. They've now redistricted. They've added some Republican seats to that state, hoping to boost the numbers for the GOP. You've got other Republican states considering it as well. The Supreme Court's probably not going to make a ruling on the Voting Rights Act until it's too late for the GOP to take advantage of it this coming year, but they're going to try as best they can in other states to redistrict to help the Republican numbers. Remember, in North Carolina, redistricting is something done by the legislature for which the governor of the state has no veto, so they can get away with it. The only ones who can stop them are federal judges. Democrats are claiming they're going to try to go to court and get it stopped, but given North Carolina's situation with judges and the circuit that it's in, the Democrats are going to have a hard time stopping the Republicans in North Carolina. Up next, a story that will warm your heart and delight you. Jasmine Crockett, the insane Democrat from Texas, says she's thinking of a run for the Senate. She's got $4 million in the bank. This would be hilarious. You know, she's kind of the Marjorie Taylor Greene of the Democratic Party right now, says the outrageous, dumb things that Democrats think but don't say out loud. She does. She hates Donald Trump. She thinks that the Democrats aren't fighting hard enough in Texas, and really, I think she's just trying to boost her own fortunes. I don't think she can make it through a Democratic primary in Texas. In all honesty, the Texas Democrats are a different breed, and they're not really down with Jasmine Crockett. They love what she says, but they recognize she would be too vulnerable. The Texas Democrats really, really want to win a statewide race. They really do think Ted Cruz is vulnerable enough to be beaten, but not by Crockett. They're practical people who want to win, and Jasmine Crockett's not a winner to them. Up next, the president's team has blown up another drug boat. This time, it's in the Pacific, coming up from Mexico. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, says it's a known drug narco-trafficking route. It was a boat tied to narco-traffickers. There were 2 people in the boat. They have been killed. The boat has been blown up. People are asking questions again. Rand Paul in the Senate raising some of the big questions from a civil liberties aspect, that this should be handled as a criminal prosecution, not a war issue, and not with the Department of Defense, because the narco-traffickers are not nations and they're not actual terrorist groups, even though the president claims to have redesignated them that. I don't care. Kill the drug dealers. I'm okay with the military being involved. These are foreigners invading the country with drugs. I'm fine with that. However, while I'm fine with it and you're fine with it, there actually are legitimate legal issues, and the president's team has not only sidestepped those, they've refused to give a lot of information to Congress, raising alarms in Congress. The head of the military division in charge of all this has quit and isn't saying anything. But insiders within the Pentagon are telling members of Congress, Republican members of Congress, he quit because he did not think the intelligence actually showed what the government is claiming. In other words, members of the military are leaking to members of Congress, including Republican members of Congress, that the Department of Defense's political leadership is lying about who's dying on these boats. And that could turn out to be a huge scandal if it actually bears out that the rumors are true. And the Trump team probably needs to be watching Pete Hegseth. Lastly, according to the Wall Street Journal, quote, the United States and Israel are considering a plan that would divide Gaza into separate zones controlled by Israel and Hamas. They want to disarm Hamas. Vice President Vance and Jared Kushner have summarized the thinking in a news conference in Israel. They arrived to press both sides to abide by the current ceasefire under which Israel pulled back its troops, so now it controls about 53% of the enclave. Vance said that there are 2 regions in Gaza. One is relatively safe, the other one incredibly dangerous. The goal is to geographically expand the area that is safe under Israeli control. This would actually be a great idea because it could show the people of Gaza what's possible if Hamas isn't there. It would provide some competition to Hamas. Now, Hamas, of course, would seek to destroy it and divide it. It would provide a security perimeter. And, of course, everyone would scream genocide yet again. But Israel showing that a rebuilding of Gaza with peaceful Palestinians is possible would go a great way towards undermining the Hamas narrative in the Middle East and around the world. So you can be sure progressives who hate Israel are going to hate this. But it's a great idea. Those are the 4 things you need to know this afternoon. I'm Erick Erickson. Stay informed, stay engaged. Please keep the faith, and please know my wife's on the mend. Everybody in the Erickson household is doing well. I thank you all for your prayers.